What's up guys, so here are the last night scrim result in the block 1. NIP finished first with 85 points, Flat finished second with 57 points and DKK finished third with 51 points. Rock finished 5th, TSM finished 8th, Twisted Mind finished 10th and Falcon, LG and Team Liquid finished in the bottom 10. In the block 2, VP finished first with 72 points, Rock finished second with 68 points and Falcon finished third with 59 points. Twisted Mind finished 5th, Team Liquid finished 9th and SR finished 10th place. Now let's start the video with Hal, where he talk lots of things about Apex Pro and why some pros don't deserve the money they are getting by org.
Salary guard. I'm not here to tell you who deserves what money, who deserves where. This is not my job. That's within the esports org.
3,000 is like, by the way, like really low compared to NA. I don't think like a majority of the pros get paid at least like if you're in EU, you get like 3,000 if you're lucky, I think. But in NA, 3,000 is like very, very low for NA pros. I'm pretty sure it's like, I'd say like 4 or 5 is like the bare minimum, I think, signed to NA. When you're like a professional player, you are not required contractually to stream. You're a professional player, right? Your job is to perform as a professional player. Streaming and content creation has nothing to do of what you're supposed to be doing as a professional signed player. There is little contracts or individuals that are assigned to organizations for stuff like streaming. They're content creators. Pro players, they're not contractually obligated most of the time. Some orgs do it. You have like a minimum streaming hours, but it's like very low. They're not required to be a content creator, which is why most of them are not, you know, in the first place. But at the other end of it is like, it is true you should be streaming because of so many reasons. Like long term, if you don't do it, and you're not in an esport where it's like, you know, there's not a lot of money involved. You know, like if you're not in CSGO or CS2 or in League of Legends, Dota, fucking Valorant, you know, stuff like that. Like, you know, it's in everyone's best interest to be streaming, right? Your interest, org's interest, whatever. But like I said, like the biggest problem is that professional players are not obligated to do what a content creator is. You just don't. You don't have to do stuff like that. Like you're getting paid to perform. Like look at the professional players in top tier esports. Like look at them. Like look at CS2 players, in League of Legends players, all these other players. Like they don't stream like at all because they don't have time to do it. They just don't. They don't have the time to do it because they're practicing like with their team. And our game specifically is kind of like, it's just actually way different than a lot of other esports because we stream our practice. Every other esport, they don't do that. And they get paid enough at the same time to not have to stream and pour all of their time into being a professional player in their respective game. But like Apex, it's like you can stream your practice and it wouldn't really affect your outcome. People can't, they can, but they can't really like replicate your gameplay compared to other games. I understand why players don't do it. Like ultimately, I've said this before on my own stream, is that like in the since the very beginning, like if it was up to me as an individual, I would have never started streaming. I never wanted to stream like at all. And I feel like it just seems to be like a professional player thing, is that like personalities of a professional player are just not geared towards it being a content creator. You just don't. Like if there's either you have an extroverted person and you're a content creator, or you're more introverted but you're really good at games and you're a professional player. So it's like, you know, like look at Reps. Like look at Reps. Like he didn't ever really stream. Like he didn't take it as serious as I ever did in streaming, right? Because it's just who he is. Like that's just his personality. Like I've had countless conversations with him that he should do it. I've had my dad talk to his dad. I've had Jordan's dad talk to him. And ultimately at the end of the day, Jordan's Jordan and he's gonna do what he likes. And that's him competing and not streaming because that's his personality. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. That's like the disconnect. I feel like it's like we expect pro players to be streaming and making content and posting all this shit, right? But like I said earlier, it's like that's not their job in any way. And being a professional player is way fucking harder than it is being a content creator. Way harder. And that is why most professional players become a content creator eventually, because that shit is so much easier and you make a lot more money. I've always been an advocate regarding like professional players building their brand, fucking streaming, posting content and all that stuff. But at the other, like I said, on the other side, it's like they're not required to at all. Like that's not their job. So can we really blame them? Would it be best for everyone? yes, but I don't know. It's kind of like in a weird way. Like I don't know. It's like, well, yeah, if you're a professional player like in Apex, you don't really have time for content creation, and plus like there's no content to be created in Apex. That's why there's like no content creators outside. Like our content creators are professional players and all about competition in Apex. Why do I stream 8 hours a day consistently? Because I make a lot of money. I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. It gives me a reason to get on and play the game. It feels like I'm like cheating the system because if I consistently stream, I make a lot of money. But not only if I stream a lot, I'm doing my job as a professional player, which is not only playing scrims, but also putting in the time to uphold my performance, right? So it all kind of like connects like a spider web in a way. So like with that point, like it would be, if a professional player is actually grinding, doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is playing the game and upholding their performance and improving, you might as well be streaming it, right? If you're only playing scrims and then you're not playing ranked, I don't think you're doing a job as a professional player, right? If you're only playing scrims and not doing anything else, you're not doing your job. And if you are like playing ranks and doing other stuff outside of scrims, you might as well be streaming it because why not? Like there is no downside to it at all. But at the end of the day, the reason why people don't do it sometimes is because one, they don't like doing it. They're not required to because they're a professional player. They're not a content creator. So like it's kind of like more on the orgs. I honestly blame the orgs at the end of the day with this whole problem is because orgs pay like kids, teenagers, a lot of fucking money to sometimes do the fucking bare minimum, right? They do the bare minimum and they kind of get away with it because orgs are just making a lot more money either or they just don't know what they're doing. So I don't know. Well, Zero's not only like playing scrims, but he VOD reviews like constantly. Like he's not only just like playing it, but he's watching like VODs. Like yeah, I think that Zero would be way better. Like I think he would improve and be consistently better if he played ranked and shit like that. But like that's just like another Jordan situation. Like I'm not going to like he's Zero's 25. Like I'm not gonna like I can't do anything. Like he has his own fucking brain. But most of the time orgs are not involved enough with their own players to do their job, which is like doing more than scrims. Like you don't put in the contract like you have to. The bare minimum is you have to play the game 8 hours a day, 8 hours or 5 out of the 7 of the days of the week, 8 hours a day. Like it's literally all like your own self responsibility to do what you're supposed to be doing. Orgs do not create any like consequence or incentive to do such a thing outside of just performing as a player. And if you don't perform, then you're gone, right? But org is just like, hey, we're gonna pay you this amount of money each month and we'll see how it goes. That's literally how it works most of the fucking time. Well, yeah, the public don't understand how much people make when it comes to like streaming and like professional players. It's just like disgusting. Yo,
what was the leaks on the COD numbers? I've heard.
I have no idea. But I know like most of those people get overpaid like a motherfucker and they're terrible at that game.
I heard like tier 2 was like pretty close to what we get paid.
Yeah, but that's a year. Yearly?
We haven't said any numbers yet.
Let me know your thoughts on this video in the comment section, and if you are new here, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more interesting video. Hasta la vista, baby.